This is Tim Tribble. Tim is a co-founder of Trinity Technology Group in Higginsville, Missouri, the developers and manufacturers of AIRADIGM. Tim acts as TTG's Chief Technical Officer and has been active in the ePTFE membrane and laminate field for more than 20 years. Prior to co-founding TTG, Tim worked in the industrial and textile-related industries with companies like VHA and General Electric. Tim's technical expertise and experience in the textile industry led directly to the creation of the AIRADIGM technology that we will share with you today. When he's not working on AIRADIGM or TTG's other businesses, Tim is enjoying the many outdoor activities that Missouri has to offer. But as an introduction, Greg joined TTG a year ago when his company, Akoya Capital, acquired TTG, and he then became the CEO in October 2019. So Greg is a textile industry veteran with 13 years of experience with DuPont and Hyosung. He led the global active outdoor business teams for brands like Lycra, Coolmax, Tactile, and Cryora in North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Prior to his textile and apparel positions, Greg worked in the building materials and chemical industries. Greg is an outdoor enthusiast and brings that passion, along with his significant performance textiles and branding experiences, to the AIRADIGM business. And so with that, I'll hand it over to Greg. Take it away, Greg.
I hope you're all staying safe and healthy during these crazy, unusual times, and really appreciate you carving out a small piece of your day to be with us. Let me begin with a brief introduction to our company, Trinity Technology Group. TTG is located about 50 miles east of Kansas City in a small town called Higginsville, and we are a global supplier to a variety of end markets, including energy, medical, metals and mining, and several others you see listed on the slide. We were founded in 2008, and we produce expanded PTFE or fluoropolymer membranes. And some of TTG's very first products were used in waterproof, breathable garments for the U.S. military. So a long history in the apparel related industry. We also laminate membrane to a host of different substrates for uses like air pollution control fabrics. We manufacture over 50 different membranes, and they're used in over 100 different products, including materials that are sold to some global leaders in the specialty footwear and apparel market. So we used our knowledge and expertise from our industrial applications to shift paradigms and make a completely new offering for the apparel and footwear markets that I'm really thrilled to introduce you to today. We built AIRADIGM on what's really an older technology, ePTFE, but the twist here is that we took away all of the negatives. And we believe AIRADIGM is truly a paradigm shift in what you would expect to see in conventional waterproof, breathable fabrics. AIRADIGM has 5 key, we think, are unmatched performance features that I will take you through today, all delivered using proprietary best-in-class technology. AIRADIGM is using a revolutionary microventing plasma technology, which is created, produced here in the U.S., and it neutralizes many of the uncomfortable effects of wind, rain, snow, body heat, and sweat to keep you as wearers dry and always at your optimal temperature, regardless of activity level. With AIRADIGM, we create your own individual climate zone. So what does exactly that mean to you? Well, every individual reacts very differently to the external environment and their level of activity. Some individuals, when they are active perspire more. Some may get more hot or more cold in a given environment. So you respond to your internal and external conditions very differently. And with AIRADIGM, the fabric will adjust with you to create your own individual comfort zone. So your next question is logical. Well, how exactly does this work? Well, it starts with the fabric construction and two critical ingredients: a proprietary nano treatment to the entire fabric, and the expanded PTFE membrane that many of you would know has long been tested as a superior media to keep water out while letting heat and moisture escape. The treatment which we use is applied to the membrane as well as to the inner and outer layers of the fabric, and those have been carefully selected for a specific end-use activity, whether it's cycling, running, skiing, or hunting. And the key here is the layering of the technology in the fabric construction that enables airflow moderation between an individual's body temperature and the amount of moisture which is built up by perspiration. And the result is what we call iClimate, a personalized comfort zone that keeps the wearer dry and balanced regardless of the environment or the activity level. Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Imagine there are two hikers. They're climbing a rather steep mountain. They're both wearing the same jacket. And one hiker is really working immensely and is sweating profusely. The other hiker is not sweating as much, but temperatures are beginning to drop. He's beginning to feel a bit cold. Well, you want the fabric to adapt and deliver the same comfort in both situations. Dry in one case, warmth in the other. And AIRADIGM delivers exactly that. AIRADIGM's 3-layer laminated fabric is really unique on the market. Again, there's an inner and outer layer sandwiched with the ePTF membrane in the middle, and then applied with a proprietary nano treatment. And this multi-layer construction and treatment delivers multiple benefits. So here's a quick visual of the fabric construction. From the inside, moisture, vapor, and excess body heat escapes. From the outside, rain, moisture, and wind are repelled. And the magic comes really in our proprietary pulse plasma nano treatment, which encapsulates every fiber in the fabric. And as you can see in the bottom right visual insert, AIRADIGM has a very open pore structure that allows the fabric to breathe, as compared to traditional durable water-resistant treated fabrics that often clog those pores. And the treatment which we provide is more durable and permeable on the fabric than traditional DWR fabrics. For those of you looking for a slightly more technical explanation, here you go. Unlike a typical durable waterproof resistant treatment applied by essentially bathing that fabric in a solution, we apply our treatment through an enclosed vacuum chamber. No water bath. Any treatment is applied in a roll-to-roll process. There's no curing or drying needed. There are no off gases. It's environmentally sound and sustainable. And we encapsulate every fiber of the fabric. The treatment itself is applied in nano amounts at the nano level. And just to give you a perspective or context, we would use in our process the equivalent of about 1 liter of a monomer as compared to 2 55-gallon drums of solution that a typical DWR bath would contain. And finally, this treatment forms a very strong bond onto the fabric that is durable and does not wash off. Our pulse plasma treatment has a pretty unique sustainability footprint. It is PFOA-free monomers. The process, again, is performed in a vacuum versus a traditional open bath DWR treatment. It's applied at a molecular level, which, again, reduces the volume of monomer we need to reach the performance we're looking to achieve. And the pulse plasma, it creates that covalent bond between fibers and monomer. And it treats the entire fabric or this 3-layer composite with a very low monomer amount. Our process is ISO 9001 certified. We are UL approved, and HIG Index, OEKO-TEX, and Blue Sign approvals are well in process at this time. So let me walk you through AIRADIGM's 5 technical benefits in a bit more detail. First, waterproofness. AIRADIGM is uniquely waterproof. The special treatment in pulse plasma is applied at a molecular level, again, encapsulating every fiber versus a traditional DWR finish, which really only coats the surface of the fabric. And these molecules which we've attached react against the surface tension of the water to prevent penetration. And the AIRADIGM treatment is PFOA free and processed in a dry environment. There is no water involved and in a very sustainable manner. AIRADIGM is also wind repellent to its absolute core. And it's due to the complexity of the 3-layer engineered fabrics that we've developed. We create this tortuous path, if you will, for wind to penetrate, blocking literally 99.9% of wind from penetrating the membrane. Breathability. AIRADIGM allows body heat and moisture to quickly escape. Most DWRs leave a physical coating on the fabric surface that can block the pores. Again, by encapsulating the fibers on the fabric pores stay open, which then allows moisture from the body and the vapor to escape quickly. We think we truly deliver a best-in-class level of breathability where the wearer's heat regulation is enhanced and we ensure comfort regardless of the activity. AIRADIGM also allows up to 100% more airflow than traditional DWR fabrics. With our fabric construction, we've eliminated that polyurethane barrier between the membrane and fabric that's typically found in many other products. Airflow from the wearer's body to the external of the garment is significantly enhanced. And it's really the combination of this breathability and air permeability, both, that's so unique. You get both, keeping the wearer more comfortable during any level of activity. And finally, durability. Our proprietary nano treatment is very durable. The pulse plasma technology encapsulates and protects the fabric at a molecular level from the fiber on up. The application forms this covalent bond between the treatment and the fibers, and this inherently improves the performance over the lifetime of the garment and extending the overall life of the fabric. So the 5 technical benefits I just described have been exposed to real-world testing. We actually produced test garments made with AIRADIGM fabrics and sent them out for use in a variety of conditions: snow, rain, and wind. And as you can see on this slide, some of the direct quotes we received from some of our actual wear testers. And AIRADIGM delivered on the technical promise: waterproofness, wind repellency, breathability, air permeability, and durability. So we recently introduced the brand through a social media campaign. You can actually follow AIRADIGM-Adventure and see our posts on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. The posting calendar, which we put together, the intent is to introduce the brand, the company behind it. We defined iClimate Comfort and dig into the 5 technical benefits as I did with you today. Look, we are prepared to support you and your brand in social media whenever you're ready to launch a product line with AIRADIGM. We've also created some collateral pieces to help support sell-through for consumers and would be happy to collaborate on any custom collateral pieces supporting your brand. And we have point-of-sale materials, including hang tags that can be used. They're customized for each active outdoor activities. As you can see on the back of the tag on the far right, we call out the 5 benefits of iClimate Comfort on the hang tag as well. So if you have any questions, please reach out to Deneen Pizzone or Karen Fowler. And if I can help in any manner, please, you can reach out to me at gvasnunis@ttgtech.net.
Well done, my friend. We have a bunch of questions that have come in. The first one, I know this is going to be a shock to you. How much, Greg, how much do the fabrics cost?
Yeah, and my answer is probably going to be an equal shock, which is it depends, right? As most of you know,
2 words, Greg.
Yeah. As most of you know, the pricing depends on lots of factors. I mean, first and foremost, the choice that you would have of the base and outer layer fabric. Obviously, efficiencies we get in the volume we can run through our equipment, and of course, shipping locations. And look, we'll be happy to discuss very specific pricing for each of your requirements. I will tell you, we are competitively priced with all other high performance, technical fabrics that you would see in the market.
Thank you, Greg. And Greg, I'm going to address these questions to you. Certainly feel free to kick them over to some of the other folks that we have on the line from your team. So
Sure.
How do you transfer technology from a successful industrial application to a consumer apparel application?
So since you gave me that opportunity to kick one over, I'd like to introduce my colleague and co-founder, Tim Trimble, who, Tim, if you don't mind, you can address that question.
Sure. I think what we've done is taken our understanding of the filtration applications and the micro venting applications to form and understand a core technology and process, and seeing the opportunity for how we can expand and applied alternative industry. So basically, we're taking the core technology of TTG, which is filtration based, and we're looking at how we can make it into a breathable garment by using some of our past technologies. So really, it's about TTG. Its starting parts as a filtration company and taking it through to the iClimate, to where we feel we have something that the technology gives it a feel in the industry that no one else has.
Great, thank you, Tim. Craig, where on the hang tags, there was a great exploration of lots of different categories there where AIRADIGM can can fit so well. Where can I find a garment or a jacket or a shoe with AIRADIGM at retail?
Yeah, so we just launched that brand at the start of this year, and fortunately, we've been receiving some great response. We've got several brands that are currently evaluating our fabrics, and I'm really pleased to call out one of our partners who, on their website, has announced they'll be launching a product line with AIRADIGM fabrics this summer. I give them a call out. The company is called For Love of Hunting, and they've created a wonderful hunting apparel line with AIRADIGM, and hopefully it'll be online and available this summer.
Excellent. And folks, yes, I'm getting lots of questions from the audience. Will a PDF of this presentation be available? There certainly is, and we'll have Deneen and Karen reach back out to you guys with that. Greg, do you have any plans to produce outside of the U.S.?
So, Dean, at this time, all the products are produced in USA. We think it simplifies the supply chain, and really actually can provide a unique point of differentiation for many of the brands and retailers. So right now everything's in the USA, but should the product line grow and cost efficiencies or scale would be beneficial to produce outside USA, we're certainly open to exploring that. Look, we know well in the apparel industry, large production needs and the cut and sew capability is heavily centered in Asia, so we recognize that. But this is down the road. Right now, we see the production for the near term staying in the USA.
Thanks, Greg. Greg, and I'm getting a couple questions on this one, Greg. So I'm going to phrase it the best way I can. So
All right.
when it comes to, let's put it this way, how do you think that AIRADIGM is going to go to market? Will you ever go direct to consumer, or are you going to partner with brands and retailers and go that route?
So this is a really easy question to answer. We will and want to partner strictly with brands and retailers. Look, we produce the fabric. From my very long days in textile fibers with Lycra and Coolmax and Tactile, we see AIRADIGM, like those brands, were being a key differentiator, and if you will, kind of the supporting actor in the play to the brand's offering. They are front and center. So we will be partnering with brands and retailers. Having said that, we are planning to make a few limited garments, mostly for the brands and retailers to see and test and experience the product firsthand, so they can get a sense of what the garment would perform like as they design their product for a particular end use activity. But brands and retailers is our plan.
Okay, great. And there's a nice follow-up question to that, Greg. Do you or can you make available data versus competitors, like, for instance, the North Face Futurelight, that consumer brands, who we of course have on today, can use at point of sale, for instance, or in different aspects of their selling process?
Yeah. So, Tim, why don't you tackle that question, since we have done some competitive testing against other materials, and speak to that.
Sure, thanks, Greg. Yeah, we definitely have done numerous tests over the last 12 months at looking at the different parameters of the garments that are being released in the marketplace today compared to your old standard garments of 3 to 5 years ago. The performance aspects are changing drastically. So breathability is changing, waterproofness is definitely changing, some for the good, some for the bad. And I think from our side of it, we are concentrating on the waterproofness and the air permeability to be able to get the moisture vapor to transfer through. In saying that, we do have specifications and data not just from the testers' voices, but we do have it that we can list on the spec sheet that we can get you. If you reach out to Deneen or Karen in the near future, we will get you that information on the spec sheet. But yes, we do have that, and we feel comfortable that the product is a leader in that as well.
So Tim and Greg, tell me if it's better to somebody else, but there's a good follow-up, Tim. Can you customize, or how do you go about customizing a membrane for different markets? So creating something different for hikers versus cycling. How would you go about doing that, Tim?
Well, we're definitely looking at the different climates that each one of those people are in. Cycling, you're building up heat in the body. You want to release it quickly, so you want to be able to get the moisture vapor transfer through. And you also want to be able to block the wind if it's on a windy day. So yes, as Greg showed in some of the slides earlier, we do specify, or not specify, but we do have individual areas there that we can focus on. So the membrane would be changed mostly from a permeability standpoint and a moisture vapor transfer standpoint. But we would always stay with our pulse plasma technology for the water repellency on the outside of each one of those categories.
Tim, can you test specifically toward a specific customer's requirements?
Yeah, we can. We use outside labs as well as our in-house lab. So if the customer asks for a certain testing parameter, we should be able to get that back to them. So when they reach out to Karen or Deneen, we should be able to answer that question with data. And a lot of that data Andy Gillies already has in place in our toolbox. So we should be able to get those out, yes.
Excellent. So that is something we can certainly do. Greg, is AIRADIGM targeting footwear at all, or gear?
I can take that one. Yeah, for sure. So the places where you can benefit from any of the AIRADIGM technology is definitely targets and focus. So hard goods, tenting, outdoor furniture, upholstered goods, accessory products like hats, gloves, and footwear for sure, not just apparel.
Tim, can you just talk just a little bit more, or go into just a slightly more detail on the sustainable aspects of AIRADIGM?
Yes, I think as Greg spoke early on, what we really looked at over the last 3 or 4 years at TTG was how to make sure that we were abiding by the laws that are put in place now for materials to be PFOA free. And TTG has taken that on, and not just the expanded PTFE membrane side, but also in the treatment side. So from a sustainability standpoint, our pulse plasma treatment, where we do apply the monomer, as Greg said, in a enclosed, encapsulated chamber, we are able to keep all of that monomer that is usually deposited on in a bath sequence normally. We can put that on in a chamber where we control everything throughout the process. And the best part of the process there is we do it at ambient temperature, and any off-gassing in a monomer form can only be done under higher temperatures. So we feel really comfortable about our technology and how sustainable it is, as well as we constantly look and search, just like the brands are, for more sustainable fabrics. If they can be regenerated from recycled fibers, we're always looking at that as well.
I think, Greg, the most important thing is that you have up on the screen for everybody for follow-up information if they need it. Yes, folks, the PDF will be available for everybody on the webinar today, plus a copy of the recording will be posted on the website. So you will have access to that and can certainly forward it along to the folks in your organization. Thanks so much.